All right, welcome back, everybody. God bless you all in Jesus' name. Cloning. I get a lot of comments on the back end about how a lot of the celebrities that we cover throwing up a lot of the occult secret society symbolism are in fact clones. The story usually goes that this popular musician or popular actor or actress was killed, maybe sometimes in a sacrifice, and replaced by their clone, and then they get even more elaborate in the cloning centers and such. I don't want to be associated with these theories at all. I don't really even see my channel as a conspiracy theory channel. I try as best as I can, even though we're dealing with a subject matter that is sometimes hard to document and verify, simply because these are things done in secret and people don't want them published. But this is, we've heard these stories about Kanye West being a clone when he went, had a sort of what you might call a nervous breakdown and went into a psychiatric unit and then came back a much different person. Some people say he was cloned at that time. To me, it seems as though, based on the research that I've done, that Kanye West is most likely a monarch, a victim of MK Ultra, essentially. And, we've seen that bore out with his wearing of the leopard print and throwing up a lot of the Illuminati signs and symbols. Freemason poses like the hidden hand or the sign of a master of a second veil. So, but let's just read a little bit of this just to see, because it gives the media, here's what I don't like about these things. It gives the media ample opportunity to sort of mock those of us who are looking behind the curtain, as it were, as to what it is our reality actually is. And so it's sort of low-hanging fruit for them to grab on and just sort of dismiss everyone outright. It's almost the same as the whole reptilian business. I believe that people see sometimes these manifestations in others. I saw it myself in person. However, I don't believe they're reptilian beings. I believe that I have a biblical view of my world because it's always bore out to be true. And I believe basically what I was seeing was a manifestation of a demonic spirit that was inside the person. And as a matter of fact, looking back on the incident that I had, it was as though there were a sort of a unique personality speaking to me through this individual. So there's that. But I think that kind of thing as well. These are the kinds of things, like when Vice did their documentary, when they did their documentary on gang stalking, for instance, they selected some interesting individuals, one of whom sort of promotes this reptilian race perspective of things. And it's just not been my cup of tea. It's not my experience of things. But anyway, let's go ahead and read just a little bit here. Rap conspiracy theorists may have had it wrong with those Gucci Mane clone rumors, but could the Kanye West clone rumors be the real deal? Of course not, but let's indulge them anyway. Concerned fans seem to think the old Kanye is dead and that it's an actual imposter who's walking among us. Now, before you go sucking your teeth, rap conspiracy theorists are citing Kanye's recent behavior as proof that the guy who's been in the news lately is a clone. In the last 2 months, this Kanye has dissed the idols Jay-Z and Beyonce, praised Donald Trump, canceled his sold-out tour, suffered a mental breakdown that landed him under a psychiatric hold, dyed his hair blonde, and turned into a Trump-loving fanboy. Pretty suspicious behavior when you think about it, and when paired with the fact that we have technology to clone, this conspiracy theory doesn't seem so far-fetched at all. Wake up, sheeple. The Illuminati is I've already said too much. I thought I was the only one thinking he no longer looked like he did pre all this BS. One woke fan stated on social media before ruling out drugs for Kanye's behavior, and look, I'm sure he's on the good stuff, but drugs don't make your face look oddly completely different. Like it looks like him, but at the same time, it doesn't look like him. Interesting. And that's about how they covered this. So again, we're you know, by folks, sometimes I actually think that, because I believe very much so that some of the channels that represent themselves as as truth channels are shilling, essentially. Sometimes they'll tell a lot of truth, and yet the tell will be that, let's say they've been telling a lot of truth for years, and for whatever reason they're still stumping for Donald Trump, and they've gotten to the layers of the system, how it works. They've been looking at all the same evidence, and for whatever reason, all those pictures of Trump with devil horns and 666s, and the fact that he comes out of Hollywood, and these are just the surface level stuff. Just doesn't register. It's a non sequitur, not something to pay attention to. That's a form of shilling. There's something going on there. That all these Christians identify with the man who blatantly used Christianity as a sort of a stump speech that he had to give to get elected, and also to sort of appeal to the Bible Belt and to Christians who are looking for a candidate that they can get behind.
I said it the other night. My second favorite book of all time. What's my first favorite book? The Bible. The Bible. And as much as I love The Art of the Deal, it's not even close. We take the Bible all the way, right? Okay, thanks.
So there's that. You know, everybody says that he's changed all these different things. He's gone after all these people. I just don't see it. You know, I don't see it. I see them leaving comments about that. I see them talking about it a lot, but I just don't see the on the ground. As a matter of fact, if anything, I see my world's really wicked and evil, and it's getting really bad. And so that's kind of, the two are in conflict with one another. I think we'd know if things were starting to get cleaned up. And if they did start getting cleaned up, I know God Almighty can make anything happen. But there's a very good chance that it wouldn't even be a chance that those who do not want those things divulged would take every opportunity and effort to silence it. Here's another article. This one's about Avril Lavigne. Fans think Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by a clone named Melissa. A rumor that the Canadian singer had been replaced by a look-alike resurfaced on Twitter last week, but she is not the first artist to be subject to such speculation. Did you know Avril Lavigne was replaced by a look-alike named Melissa in 2003? At least, that's what the internet would have had you believe. The old conspiracy theory that Lavigne was cloned resurfaced on Twitter over the weekend, but it has been bandied about the internet since 2005 and is thought to have originated on a Brazilian fan page. The theory claims Lavigne, struggling with fame at the beginning of her career, began using a body double named Melissa. At some point, the real Lavigne is said to have died, so the record company replaced her with Melissa full-time. Proof has included Lavigne's red carpet shots. Lavigne wears trousers, Melissa prefers dresses and skirts, and supposed differences between the facial features of pre-2003 Lavigne and the current incarnation. Now, let's just pause there and just point out that people age, people do change even. I do not dress the same way I did when I was in my early 20s, or even maybe in my late 20s, early 30s. I don't dress that way anymore. I don't dress like I did at 38 today. I don't look like I did then either. So sometimes I just, it's frustrating when you look at this kind of thing. And you might have noticed I don't really approve these comments, even though I got a lot of them on the back end. Theorists also believe Melissa has left clues in songs such as Slipped Away, in which she sings, "The day you slipped away was the day I found it won't be the same." Yeah. There was even a publicity shot in which Levine had Melissa written on her hand. Spooky. Probably because she was aware of the internet rumor, right? Long story short is I believe that these are most likely sort of so-called conspiracy theories invented by the enemy itself in order to sort of divide and also to provide an opportunity and reason to then point at those who look into these matters as being unstable. Even though you don't believe in this, right? You never promote it, whatever else. You're lumped in with people that believe that these people are all cloned, that they're all reptilians. Stephen Colbert sort of suggested that on one of his episodes as well. No, I just, I have a biblical view of the world, and I'm also seeing blatant, in-your-face, clear evidence that folks throughout my entertainment industry, from actors and actresses to the musicians, and it doesn't really even matter what genre of music, are initiates in the secret societies. They're occultists, many of whom are outright Satanists and promote it very openly. You got deceivers, wolves who are pretending to be Christians, who make Christian music or who act in Christian movies as well, and then they sort of go with that image. But this kind of thing, I mean, really, because I always like to just sort of weigh things in my mind about how this would even work, would be that cloning exists, right? We know that much. Cloning can occur. They can do it. But how would they clone someone? This is just my question. Like, how would they clone someone? Where do they keep them? Like in a factory somewhere, ready for use when the actual person becomes useless at that point? Or are you telling me they can sort of clone someone sort of on the spot, and they have all the memories, all the mannerisms, maybe a little different, I know, for folks that they claim, no, they're different, that's why we're saying, who generally seem to have no awareness that they are a clone, that seems extremely far-fetched to me, and I look at the weird, strange underbelly of our reality pretty much all day long, and I have my segments of research. Now, with the transgendered issue, it's a little different, right? With the transgenderism, there does seem to be this agenda to sort of, because it's bore out with a lot of these television shows that are coming out that are sort of promoting children even who feel like they need to transition. We see The Amazing Desmond, or Desmond is Amazing, who's promoted, and being a drag kid, as it were, is now said to be normal. That's normal for a young child, and we should support that. And if you think any differently than that, then you're a bad parent. So there is an agenda to sort of invert our world and to flip it upside down. But there's also a lot of meddling in all of this, as you may have picked up on. There's a lot of lying. There's a lot of deceit in these end times, and I believe this is one of them. And so I don't approve these kind of comments when they come in. Simply because I don't want to give anyone I don't want anyone who comes onto one of my a few of my videos, let's say, and they're starting to break through what you would call the programming and the spells that are over people, and then for them to be able to just go down into the comment section, look at all these comments that are highly speculative, just kind of out there. I mean, really, really out there stuff. And then for them to be able to say, well, there must not be much to this because this is the crowd that's sort of into this and looks into this, and so probably this isn't my channel, this isn't a place to go to for information. So I try to always keep that in mind about, those kind of comments that I will allow as well. You're free to hold those, obviously. I mean, you're free to believe that if you want. And I'm not necessarily even saying I don't personally believe it. I don't really think it's helpful to promote that. But you might walk away from this video and think I'm entirely wrong and be upset with me. That's fine with me. I just don't want to give people who are just starting to kind of come out of it any reason to scurry and run, because it's associated with just really weird, again, very highly speculative sort of fringe things. We're already on the fringe enough when we're trying to convince people and show them that the devil is indeed real, and that not just that there are people that call themselves Satanists or who have devoted themselves to that path, but that the very people that they look up to, that they go see the latest movie of on the weekend, or who they buy the latest album from, are literally adherents of that pathetic system of religious thought. So with that said, we're just going to go ahead and close this broadcast. Hope you guys got something out of the content. God bless you all in Jesus' name. You guys have a wonderful night, okay? Thanks again for watching. If you found this video helpful and educational, please click the thumbnails below to watch some of my other videos or to subscribe to my channel. Again, God bless you guys in Jesus' mighty name.